Hey everybody, it's Doug Green and I'm the publisher of Technology Reseller News, and this is another edition of Pots and Shots. And we have with us today Jake Jacoby of TelCloud. Jake, thank you for joining us again.
Hey Doug, good to see you again. Thanks for having me. Appreciate it.
So today we're going to be discussing from legacy to leading edge, how POTS line replacements work. So let's just jump right into that. Jake, what are the key steps involved in replacing a legacy POTS line with a modern solution?
Yeah, good question. So I think the first thing you want to identify is, what is this POTS line used for? So in the POTS line replacement space, right, a solution powered by TelCloud can replace any type of line, but there's nuance to the different types of lines. So it could be an alarm line for a fire panel, could be a security alarm line, could be an elevator. These are all life safety lines. Could be a fax machine, could be a modem, SCADA application. So the first thing you want to do is just one, identify we do have a POTS line, and second, what is it used for, so that when the partner goes out to install the replacement, the next generation POTS line, they have the configuration right to make sure that it's serving the needs of what the legacy equipment needs that POTS line for. So, and there's just little tweaks. And again, it's not a big deal. They can, as long as they identify they have a POTS line, reseller can go out there and they can install the line. And if it needs to change, they can do all of that over the air. So it's very simple. But first, just identifying the need.
So what are the most common challenges during installation, and how does TelCloud help your resellers overcome them?
Yeah, great question. So in the POTS line replacement space, you need to install equipment on location, right? So there's cloud infrastructure, but that cloud infrastructure connects to the telco and the PSTN, the public switch telephone network. But on premise, you need equipment that is going to do that analog to digital conversion. So typically that equipment is, you see some of it behind me, but that equipment is installed in the telco room. Now, one of the challenges sometimes that happens is when you go to install that equipment, the signal or cellular signal is not great in that equipment. We've got, buildings in New York where that telco room is 3 stories down underground and there's no cell signal. Well, that's a problem. So when you have a solution that has the cellular built into the box, now you have a challenge of trying to get signal into that room because you can't really move the box, right? So, and that can be costly. You can do that with extended antennas and things like that. The TelCloud solution, we took a different approach because we knew that signal isn't always great. So the way that we help our resellers and have a successful installation every single time is the cellular connectivity of the cellular router is separate from the box. So the nice thing about it is we have a successful install, but we're putting the box. So when I'm talking about a box like this, and that does the connection to it delivers the POTS line, but the cellular connectivity can be moved. So we can go up to 250 feet away and we power a cellular router, something like that on the wall right here. And that can be indoor or outdoor. So now you have this flexibility and you have this wiggle room so that you can find the signal. You can take your cellular connectivity, cellular router, and again, we support all different types of cellular routers, whether it's Ericsson router, PepLink, ATEL, and Seago. It depends, right? And so you can take that, get the signal, bring that back via PoE and Cat6 to the TelCloud device and deliver it. So a lot of times that's the biggest challenge, right? Is just making sure that we have that cellular connectivity. And so when you have that flexibility, you can pretty much guarantee that you're going to have a successful install every single time.
So Jake, what about customer communication? How should we communicate with the customers during this transition to make it into a smooth transition?
Yeah, good question. So I think the first thing is just, identify, first of all, we're identifying that they have a need, right? That's the biggest thing, right? Some of these lines need to go away and they'll go away forever and they're not going to need them anymore. Some of these lines need to work with this, the old legacy equipment is going to require that POTS line. So, you should transition and you find a solution that's going to work long-term, right? So that's the other thing is when the solution you want to put in place, you want to make sure that it's future proofed. So a lot of what we're doing is 5G connectivity. So because LTE is eventually going to go away, right? So in this solution, in this POTS line that you're replacing, typically you want it to last for the next 10 to 15 years or beyond that. If that's the case, you really want to look at 5G options, right? So having a 5G router with a solution gives you that long-term viability of it. So just having those communications, but the biggest thing is not really getting into the weeds with the customers. The customers, they don't necessarily need to know all that the detail. What they need to hear is that, one, it's going to work. Two, we're going to take care of it for you. And three, it's going to work long-term, right? So we're not going to have to revisit this problem in another 5 or 10 years and swap everything out because the stuff that we put in there, at today isn't going to work in 10 years, right? So again, that I think it's as simple as that. Do they have the need? How do we, we're going to help them where it's fully managed and it's future proofed.
So keep it simple with the customers, keep your communication clear. Don't get too complex.
That's right. Yep. Great way to sum it up. Yes.
So now comes the fun-er part of our podcast. It is Pots and Shots. So
yes.
We are also taking a tour of the world's finest tequilas. So Jake, what do you have for us this week?
Well, I've got a couple of different tequilas to pick from. So I in keeping it simple, today we're going to talk about a Blanco tequila. So Blanco is a pure tequila. It's not aged. And one of the ones that is one of my favorites is one called Casa Dragones. So it's a bottle like this, very clear, beautiful bottle. It comes in a beautiful, I don't have the box with me, but a nice box. It's a great tequila for gifting, but it is one of the tequila that is a Blanco. So not aged at all, no oak barrels, very clean. It has a very fresh type of a little bit of a spicy, peppery taste to it. You definitely want to, this is not for mixing. It's a high-end tequila, a little pricey, but definitely high quality, small batch. Casa Dragones, definitely recommend it. Big Rock or Neat. And definitely if you see this, I'd try it out. Casa Dragones.
Jake, is the clarity a sign of the quality?
So not really. So the all tequila comes from the typically one region, Jalisco in Mexico. So just like champagne needs to come from Champagne, France, tequila needs to come from this region, the tequila region. There's a town of Tequila and Jalisco. The second, it's blue agave. So it's an agave plant, and then it's cooked and distilled a certain way. All tequila starts out as Blanco. So Blanco means clear, or just tequila starts as a Blanco, and then what you do is you age it. And there's different ways to age it. You age it in typically oak barrels. We'll bring, over this course, we'll show you some other ones, other tequilas, and what happens to them when they age and how the flavors change. But Casa Dragones is very good as a Blanco. So that's no aging at all.
Well, Jake, I really enjoyed hearing about this tequila. Also enjoyed learning more about this process and understanding how to talk to the customers, how to keep it simple, and step by step for the resellers, how you're also helping your resellers and partners. Where can we learn more about TelCloud and also the POTS replacement program?
Yeah, absolutely. So please visit us at telcloud.com or 844-900-2270. You can reach out to us I'm Jake at telcloud.com. Look forward to hearing from you.
Well, Jake, we're going to be coming together again very soon. Our next part in this series is going to be scoping the scene, why site surveys matter in POTS replacement. But until now, and I'll look forward to hearing about another world-class tequila at the same time. But for now, for Pots and Shots, TR Publications.
Yeah, thanks, Doug. I appreciate it.
Thank you.